Hello, MotoAmerica fans, and welcome to this special video edition of Off Track with Carruthers and Bice. We are at Brainerd International Raceway in, I guess they call it Middle Minnesota, not Northern, but it felt like after the drive from Minneapolis, it was a little longer than that. We have a couple guys you've probably seen before. Well, Paul Carruthers we have, but we've got we got color commentator Roger Hayden, and we got this guy JD Beach that we're kind of happy to have back in our paddock today. I went over and gave him a hug as quick as I could. I couldn't avoid it. But guys, glad to have you here. How's everything going, JD?
For me, it's good. I mean, I'm here riding a Superbike. I can't complain. It's been a great day so far, and it's been awesome that I get a whole test day. So I'm getting a lot of time in, and it's been fun.
So tell me, JD, you told me a little bit earlier, but you got the call pretty late, got a little excited, and then jumped in your van and just started driving.
Yeah. So I guess the team found out that Josh was feeling sick. And Yamaha first asked somebody else, who I won't name, but they rode the bike before, but he couldn't do it. So they called me and asked me if I wanted to, and I was like, sure. So I had to talk to my dirt track team and get the okay from them. But between all of it, it was from the first call to the okay was probably 30 minutes, then I was home, loaded everything I could in my van, like anything I could find that I thought I might need, I just threw it in the van, left like within an hour. So I left home at 2 o'clock yesterday and drove 13 and a half hours straight through. And alone and got here at 3:30 this morning and slept my van.
That's JD Beach.
It's funny, I recently learned this about JD last weekend in an interview. So when you were in that van coming up, were you singing Party in the USA or whatever that song is by Miley Cyrus?
I was singing a lot, especially at about like 1 or 2 in the morning, because usually I'm like in bed asleep by 9 o'clock. So I mean, midnight, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning. I mean, I was tired.
I bet.
I was tired.
So what's the hardest part about riding a Superbike again after not riding one for so long?
I mean, for one, the speed. I mean, because I haven't rode one since 2019, so it's been a while. So when I first got on the thing, I mean, from going left on dirt track to getting on this thing, it has some power. So it was hard to get used to at first, and just everything. I mean, I ride all the time. It doesn't matter if it's dirt track, motocross, in the woods. I mean, I'm always riding. But to get your eyes and focus and stuff used to going that fast again, it's taken some time, and I definitely don't have the feel like I did before. But it seems like it's slowly coming back, and I feel like I'm getting better. But now, today, this last time out, like I felt like I was getting faster, and then all of a sudden, like I was like, my body was like, I'm done. Like I'm sleeping 4 hours and I'm cramping up because I didn't drink water because I didn't want to stop and pee last night driving. Just so it would just waste time. So
you used a bottle.
Yeah, there you go.
Great bottle.
It works.
Yeah, no, but it's been good. I mean, I'm thankful that I got this chance to do it, and I got 4 days on the bike. So hopefully each day tonight I can get some good sleep, and each day just keep getting better.
So when is the last time you saw the guy to your right, Roger? Has it been a while?
It's been a while.
Yeah, I try to get him to come out, ride bicycles. I mean, ride motorcycles, and he's not into it. I mean, he's a color commentator now. He's not a racer, so he's not training.
He stopped even inviting me. He's gotten no so many times. Now I don't even get invited anymore. So I'm on that list now.
But Roger, the thing with you is, since you've been doing this job, your knowledge of the paddock and everything that's going on, I mean, you obviously have to study. You got to know what's going on. I know you've been a part of it for so long that it's just ingrained in you, but all the riders and everything that's going on are able to speak about all of them. I mean, do you have to do a fair amount of research?
I try to, just because, I want to do a good job, because, I represent the sport, and, people's sponsors are tuning in, but also I'm really thankful for Instagram and Facebook. Mm-hmm. Because people put all their stuff out on Facebook, and it just makes it a lot easier. You just skim through Facebook at night and you get everybody's daily report.
And
Right.
so that's how you can find out. But do you also get, I mean, I don't see hardly anybody that ever has any issue with how you're doing. You must get a lot of good support from the fans.
I also DM a lot of guys too. You know,
Mhm.
like if I don't have their phone number, I just send them a message and try to have as much information as possible because, you know, we talk a lot. Like even in between the races, we have to jump in and talk, and then through all the sessions. So it's been a learning curve for me, but also like anything else I do, I want to do a really good job. I don't want to be like, you know, some guy that just shows up and collects a check. I want to make sure that I do a good job.
I will say too, like all the years that we would go ride bikes and stuff. I mean, it didn't matter if it was football, baseball, NASCAR, or whatever. Like he like always had Sports Center on. Like always knew all the players, who's going where, who's doing what. So I mean, I think he's being a little modest, but I mean, he definitely works hard at it, I think.
Well, yeah, and I think, look, to your point, JD, you know, your love of fantasy football, Roger, and the fact that you know all these, you know, for me being a Giants fan, I don't care about any of the other players, but Big Blue. But you know, you even like some of my guys if they're on your team. I don't know, but the point is, you keep track of a lot of statistics about riders, or about players. So the same thing with riders. You're kind of naturally in that grain from what you've done in fantasy football, wouldn't you say?
Well, just being in the sport for so long, I think is the easiest part about it. You know, if you dropped me in a different sport and had me do color commentating, it probably wouldn't be as easy. But I love sports, and you know, I watch ESPN all the time. I'm always on Twitter looking at, you know, reports, and you know, NFL training camp has started. So Aaron Rodgers unfortunately showed up for the Packers, so I was kind of hoping he went somewhere else, but. Yeah, I just love sports, and that's what I follow.
Now, JD, I want to ask you, what Roger's doing is kind of what I think you'd like to maybe get involved in at some point later on. And so this analysis and understanding racing and talking and being a friendly person like that. I mean, do you watch Roger and, you know, get some pointers from him, or say, I'd like to kind of do that too? You want to kind of follow out what he's doing?
Yeah, no, it'd be great, and I do watch a lot and hear what he says and stuff, and pointers not so much now, but like when we used to ride a lot together. I mean, we'd always, I mean, especially on the days that we're riding easy. I mean, it was always kind of a gossip time and talk about who said what, and like, but like, or like how somebody said something. So I over like not just this year, but over the years, I've learned a lot just from how to handle like an interview if your bike breaks or if something happens, or like just be able to do it calmly and get your point across, but not say the wrong thing.
You know, you mentioned woods riding. We know we have Jake Lewis back in the paddock, and we've talked to him a little bit. Do you still do some woods riding with him? You guys, or had you been doing that?
Yeah, that's what's been good this year since he won't ride. Jake's back racing because he didn't really race last year, so he's back riding. He doesn't like to ride the bicycle too much, so I'm still solo on that. But no, like riding turn tracks and riding in the woods and stuff. So he's always down for that. So
yeah,
so it's been good.
Jake wants a piece of me in the woods, bad.
Yeah,
That's funny.
Have you ever done woods riding?
No, and I'm not going to because I know
see
how
how
fast
short
he
he
is. But I just always talk trash about it, and he wants me to come ride the woods so bad, but I'm not going to do it.
He's way too short. He's too short. I mean, I struggle like with the height in the woods. So
Is that right?
Yeah.
So Jake's height is actually good. It
Oh, yeah.
seems like his arms and legs would get in the way of going around trees and stuff.
No,
but not the
no,
case.
no, it's way better. Especially like when you're in tight turns or going up a hill. Like for us, if you're going up a hill and you start falling over, you're going down. Jake can just stick his leg out
Walk
and
it.
keep going. Yeah, just walk it.
Back to today. So you come in and you haven't ridden a Superbike in a long time. Do you tell Richard, like, just turn that traction control up and
No.
then you start backing it off, or is that not how it works?
No. I mean, for me, since I have rode it, and I mean, obviously Josh and Jake have been going fast this year, so it was just it was really cool because he just told me just get on the bike, do laps, take your time. I mean, we've got all day. We got 2 days before we can go racing.
Mhm.
So he's like, just take your time, and because whenever he asked me about coming and doing it, we still didn't know what Josh was gonna do, and but coming into it, I mean, I was gonna come and ride today because we knew he wasn't gonna be here today. So my original thing was I'll come and do today, and if I get some laps in, it'll be great. And if I race, I race. If I don't, I mean, it was still awesome. I mean,
It's a long drive not to race though.
Yeah, I know, but with Josh, he's gonna be here, and he's gonna race, or he's gonna try and race. So for me, it's just doing laps, and luckily, Richard's gonna gift me a bike to race. So I'll as long as everything goes smoothly, I'll get a race and just keep on working on the bike. I mean, of course, I've rode the bike for him before, so he knows how I ride and what I like, and it's been real calm, and we just been slowly just getting better and better.
And
It has
you're
to be a lot harder, I think, though, coming to a track that you've never raced before. So now you got to learn a bike
yeah, that's true.
that's probably totally different than the one you rode a couple years ago. So you got to learn a bike and then also a track when all the heavy hitters came here and tested a couple weeks ago. So you really got an uphill battle this week.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was funny before the first session. I told Jake, I'm like, I mean, because we were going, because I mean, since I didn't get here till 3:30 this morning, I didn't even know where the track was. So we were leaving from the truck to go to the track. So I'm like, Jake, just let me follow you for a lap, so I even know how to get to the track. Like, I didn't know
how to get back.
Yeah, how to get back, and he's like, yeah, that's fine. I'm gonna go out there, ride about 50%, and it'll be fine. I'm like, that's gonna be 100% for me. And we go out, and he's just gone. So I'm like, I'm lost on the track, and because I looked at the track map, but like there's only so much you can get from that, and then there's the last long right-hander to the chicane. I like first lap, I completely missed the chicane. I didn't realize it turned back that far. So it has been challenging, and because this track has the super fast part in the beginning and then the super slow part, so it's like trying to remember.
Yeah, you don't want to get that mixed up.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
So you're actually riding the spare,
Yes.
and Josh is the one parked there with the number 1 on it,
Yes.
on display.
Yep.
But now it'll obviously switch.
Yep.
Is there enough crew?
That's what I was wondering.
Yeah, so Josh's crew will stay the same, except for Lee will just be my guy.
Okay.
So Lee's gonna have a lot of work to do. I mean, because it's gonna be him. But I think I'm here and I want to do good, but since I'm not in the points or anything, I mean, I can help with tire warmers or whatever. But yeah, I mean, it's good.
And your 2 buddies over in Europe are doing okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, one of them didn't do so good the last time. He got himself in a little hot water. but-
Yeah. No, they both been doing really good, and I've known Garrett for a long time, but I'm really close with Cameron,
Right.
and I bet I probably talk to him every day almost, and he's had his times where he's struggled a little bit, and I think it's a little hard for him. He's had so many years where he's been the man, so I think he struggled a little bit, and it's been. I've just been trying to do my part with him and boost him a little bit and help, and I do try. I'm not him, but I try and watch him and see if there's anything I can see that he's doing or that everybody else does that he doesn't do. Just try to help him improve a little bit.
Yeah, so you do stay in touch with those guys, though. I mean, you say more Cameron than Garrett, but do you see, Paul and I talk about this a lot, we see what Cameron does in a race, and it's like, man, if he could get a better starting position to start with, he wouldn't have to go through that pack, but it shows, obviously, his racecraft to be able to do that, and Moto2 is so tough. Do you see that, too, and you see, well, he's doing a good job when he's in the race? I mean, what's your analysis of how he's doing in the races?
I mean, I think he's doing great. I mean, there's been multiple times he's qualified 25th.
Yeah.
And then he's finished on top 10, or like he'll be top 10 and then crash out or something. So, I mean, he's doing really good. I think over there, or I think here, there's such a stigma kind of to crash. Like you don't want to crash here. No, and over there, I don't think they care at all. So, And it's funny because qualifying here, that was always Cameron's strong suit. I mean, he could go out there and throw down a lap like no other. But I think over there, all those guys, I mean, they don't care. They just have to do one lap, so they go for it. I mean, but they have record amount of like each year. I think this year they've already had like 550 crashes or something.
Yeah, it's crazy how much they crash.
So I think once Cameron figures out, because I think he is struggling with the bike a little bit and with the tires because they are changed a little bit. So I think once he gets that little bit, I think it'll be fun.
Roger, I want to ask you just for a little analysis this weekend of our Superbike series, HONOS Superbike. So obviously Jake Gagne is on this incredible winning streak, and it seems like now is a time where somebody's got to try to do something to break it. It's a little more of a level playing field. None of them seem to have any more laps than anybody else at this track.
That's why they called me.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to throw it in there as the equalizer. But what do you think is going to happen? Do you think that Jake's going to continue that streak? Do you think maybe something will change this weekend?
Well, looking by the lap times today, it kind of looks like it's going to possibly continue. But if somebody else wants to challenge him for the points, they need to get going this weekend and kind of stop the bleeding, because now he's almost got well over 2 races leading the points. So halfway part of the season, I think, was at Laguna. So I think if anybody wants to challenge him, because his pace is so high, I don't think on his bad weekend he would finish off the podium. So if somebody wants to get back in the title fight, I think it's going to have to start this weekend, and somebody's going to have to go on the run that he's been on since VIR.
And same, how about Super Sport? I mean, obviously Richie Escalante needs to make something happen this weekend, wouldn't you say, to stop Sean?
Yeah, Sean's on a roll right now and just looks like he's just mentally a lot stronger this year and just really wants to, prove a point. And I think if Richie wants to get back into it, he's got to do the same thing. He's got to start winning some races, and it's kind of like the same thing. Sean's worst weekend, he's going to get second in Super Sport. I mean, those guys are, honestly, they're cut above the other guys right now. So if on Sean's worst weekend, he's going to get second. Really bad weekend, he's still going to get third. So Richie's going to have to start winning some races because, it's only 5 points from first to second. He's got to make up over 30.
How hard is it, this is a question for both of you guys, how hard is it to defend, to have that number one plate, or at least been the defending champion? Is it harder to do than winning the first time?
Well, for me, the first time I got it in 15, I was in 16. I was with Garrett. I mean, he was riding good, and I don't think for me it wasn't anything pressure that I didn't win again. It was just I think the title came down to like 4 points, so like it wasn't like it wasn't a blowout or anything, and so for me it wasn't too bad. And then in 18 when I won, I moved up, so then I didn't run it.
Okay.
It's a little harder just because I think any championship's hard to win. So winning one is hard, and you talk about backing up, and you have to win it again. So I think sometimes after you win that first one, you get a little more, you can get a little bit more relaxed maybe because you accomplished a huge goal. But it is hard to back it up, I think, just because it's so hard to win a championship, and then you're talking about trying to win another one.
JD, realistically what would you look at when you're looking at a piece of paper with everyone's times and thinking about the race? Where would you like to slot in?
Honestly, I've surprised myself a little bit. I mean, I'm 7th now, but from about 4th, I'm like a second and a half off or so. And I mean, for 4 hours of sleep and not riding for a while, I'm glad with that. And I think come race time, I feel like if I'm 5th to 8th, I'd be pumped on that. But I know how it is for me when I go racing. I can always go quicker than one lap. So I'm just looking forward to it. I'm gonna enjoy it, and I'm gonna put out everything I can. And if it's 5th or if it's 8th, I'll be pumped. But it would be nice to like maybe sniff 3rd or something. It'd be good.
Beat Josh, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. He's been riding good, and it's just a one race for me. So there's not really like one person I want to beat. I mean, I think if I go out there and I ride to what I think I can, I'll be good.
How far removed are you from the next dirt track? Is it right away?
I get 2 weeks, so that was kind of part of why they said they were good with it, just so I have a little bit of time if something was to happen or whatever.
And now we don't have much time left, but we might as well touch on it a little bit. The dirt track thing's still been a little frustrating for you, right?
It's been hard. I mean, we're racing a bike that is made to go from stoplight to stoplight, and we're racing against bikes that were purpose built to race dirt track. So it hasn't been easy, but it's not because it's a lack of people not trying. I mean, the whole team is working so hard. I mean, I'm putting in everything I can, but it's racing. I mean, I've had some really good years, and these last couple years have been hard. I mean, it's been real hard, but I know for myself, I mean, I don't quit and I keep working, and we'll see what happens.
All right, I think we better, I know JD's got to go ride some more. Roger did tell me that he would go ahead and give you his plane ticket and he'll drive the van
Oh,
back.
perfect. Thank you.
If you get on the podium, I'll drive the van.
Oh, there you go. I'll drive with him.
That's
I'll
pretty
keep
good.
him company. We can sing together.
That'd be good.
That's a good wager. I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Well, thanks for being on here. JD, so great to see you. Roger, it's good to have you. You're so busy in our paddock that it's nice to spend a little bit of time talking to you about what you've been doing, but you've been doing a great job. And JD, we're looking forward to seeing what you can do this weekend. And, you know, we follow you through Flat Track all the time, too. So thanks, you guys. And to all the fans out there, we hope you enjoyed this episode, and we'll bring another one to you next week. Thanks so much.